I did an assignment like this in one of my classes, and one of my students animated the president's face with a toupee flapping in the wind every time he flew. And I thought that was so disrespectful, I didn't want that to happen again, so I put a little note here with a link to demonstrate what you should not do, just to make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay. So I've got a couple of images here. How can I replace that turtle with the bird? What class should I be looking at now? I'm going to say view. My reason for view is where we draw stuff. If you remember view dot paint component, this is exactly where we're drawing the turtle. Okay. Now in here I have an image called turtle image. Does the name of the variable matter? I'm in class view. I'm looking at about line 78. Of course, my lines won't match with yours anymore since we've all done some editing, but approximately line 78. I have a member variable called image turtle image. So my first question is it important for this variable to be named turtle image? No. If I change it to a bird, do I have to change it to say bird image?
No.
So the emphasis would be on have to. No, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're going to confuse yourself. So I would strongly recommend don't be content leaving variables that don't have meaningful values, because at some point you're going to lose track and forget what they mean. It shouldn't be that hard. In fact, even if you just click on it, see how I click on turtle image and it highlights all of the instances of turtle image so I can find them quickly? So it should be pretty easy to change. But changing the variable name is not going to make it a bird, right? I mean, you can call it the president if you want, and it's not going to be the president. The thing that actually makes it be the image is this line right here, right? I loaded an image called turtle.png. If I load bird1.png, that one little change, just to change the file name, I think should change it to a bird. There you go, now it's a bird, right? Now because I won't tolerate code that is dirty like that, I'm going to go through and change it to bird1 image. Okay, so there's one, change it. There's one, change it. Oh, there's only 3 places, so it's pretty easy to change. I've now renamed my variable. I'm going to build. I'm going to run again just to make sure I haven't broken anything. And there you go. The bird still works. For some reason, it's just not nearly as funny as a turtle anymore, isn't it? But it would be way awesome if this bird could flap. How can we make our bird flap? Nailed it. We need another image. So bird2 image, right? Now here we're loading this first image. We're obviously going to need to load the second image too. You'll get students that will say, I added a variable called bird2 image. How come I don't see another bird2? And well, all a variable does is occupy memory, right? Well, after you load it, it occupies memory with this other image that you loaded. And I better change the file name to bird2 or it'll be the same image twice. Okay, I have now loaded 2 images. If I run my program, will the bird flap? No. Certainly not. All I did was load the image. So yes, the image is in memory. Yes, it is occupying memory, but it's not on the screen because the only image I draw is bird1 image. Okay, so how do I draw a bird2 image? I'm going to have an if statement. If some condition, then draw bird1 image, else draw bird2 image. And now the big question is, what is some condition? Yeah, if we've recently clicked the mouse, something like that. So,
What about based on velocity?
yeah, we could do it based on the velocity. Ooh, that's a good one. And we have that one ready to go. Let's do it. If mod dot vertical velocity is greater than 0. I like that. Let's see how it works. I run it. Here's what it looks like. Hey, that's pretty good. Maybe we'll just leave it like that. Oh yeah, sorry. But it's so much fun. I'll just play with it over here in the corner while you guys look at my code. Okay. When I'm going up, it's one image. When I'm going down, it's the other image. That's cool. But when I'm going up, he just kind of stays like that. And a bird would be flappy, flappy, flappy when it's going up, right? Do you want to take pains to get it looking more animated? Okay. Here's what I think it should do is whenever we click the mouse button, it flaps down and then goes back up. So we'll say we'll stay down for 5 frames and then we'll flap back up. Does that sound good? Okay. In order to do that, our if statement, which is located right here, instead of saying if our velocity is greater than 0, we want to instead ask the question if we have recently flapped. Meaning if frames since flap is less than 5, then we'll do one image. Otherwise, we'll do the other image. Does that sound good? So the idea now is if we have clicked the mouse within the last 5 frames, we're still on the down flap. And if we haven't, then we're on the up flap. Yep, there is no such thing as frame since flap, as our compiler will promptly tell us. Cannot find symbol frame since flap. So we're going to need to make one. So you ready for me to scroll up? Okay, I'm going to go up to my model and say int frame since flap equals 0. In other words, it has been 0 frames since I flapped. He always flaps at the start of the program for some reason. And in my update method, I will increment that because remember, update is called every single frame. So this number will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then in my flap method, I'll set it to 0. I'm moving too fast. Okay. All right. In update, I'm incrementing my frame since flap. It actually doesn't matter. I could stick it anywhere in update because update is called once every frame. And I'm just saying if update has been called 5 times, then frame since flap is 5. If update has been called 21 times, frame since flap should be 21. So as long as frame since flap is counting how many frames it's been since I flapped, then it does the job I want. Then down here in flap, I said, okay, frame since flap is 0. Because if I'm going to flap, well, now it has been 0 frames since I flapped, because I just flapped.
How many frames since flap?
Yeah, I'm going to say instead of if it's been 5 frames since flap, I'm going to change it to if it's been 25 frames since I flapped. And now if I build that and run, now it looks like this. You know, I think I'm showing the wrong image. I'm going to flip them. I'm going to change that less than to a greater than. And now it looks like this. Hey, that's about right. How do we make it go? Let's do it. Everybody ready to make it go? Sure. Okay. Let's add another image. image, I'll call it pipe. And also, I'm going to come down and get this pipe here. Right click, say save image as tubeup.png. I'm going to save this pipe image in my game folder. In fact, I might as well save both of them. Tube up and tube down. Okay. Now I'm going to need to draw this pipe. So, well, I guess first I need to load the image. So I'm going to say pipe equals, I'm just going to copy this line, change it to tubeup.png. And I'm also going to need to draw the pipe. So here in Paint component, I will say draw the image. I'll draw the pipe image. And for right now, I'll just set it at 400, 400, because I don't know where to draw the pipe. I'm just testing it. See what I've done? I made a pipe variable, I loaded it, and I drawed it. I drawed it. I drew it. And now I build and I run, and here's what I get. And now it's starting to look like a game. Except now the bird is still not moving forward. Next we need to make things move. What was that? Okay. You guys with me? Okay. And just to emphasize something, I hope you won't last very long with variables named turtle X and turtle Y in a game about birds, because that's just ugly code when your variables don't line up. Do go rename your variables at some point. I'm just not going to do it today.